Soul friends, welcome back to another video from the TheSimSanctuary. Today's video is a part of the 50 states, as you might have seen from the title, thumbnail, or beginning. So it's been a while since I've done a 50 states build, partially because I was feeling unwell early in the week, and I also had collabs come out last week, and yeah, so it's just been a while since I've done a 50 states build. This is based off the architecture found in New Jersey. I like most houses I do for this series, it's kind of a combination of several different houses, and yeah, I think it came out pretty good. There are, a couple things about this house. Is it took me forever to do it, and when I loaded up this lot, that dude was standing there in a bath towel, and I have no idea why. So yeah, he's there for most of the build. But yeah, so I chose to do New Jersey this week because it's one of the states I really wanted to do. I haven't done New York yet, and I do plan to do that in the future. I mean, I plan to do all the other ones in the future. In terms of my knowledge and experience of New Jersey, it's not very vast. I mean, the political climate there is something, and I think a lot of people sometimes forget that it's its own state. I think sometimes people think it's a part of New York, which, I mean, I guess probably maybe because of the new, the prefix new, it can be, kind of confusing for some. I'm not saying everybody. It's probably a very slim minority that think it. But when I was doing research online, you sometimes see links and articles, and that some of the stuff caught my eye. Yeah, so I did this walkway because basically every time I look at a house for this series, that all the houses I see have this kind of walkway, so I tend to do it a lot. And the nice thing though is with all these houses that I used to kind of base this house on, out of all of them, none of them had a garage. Which in my Arizona 50 states build, I based it off 2 houses that had garages, and I ended up not using, making it look like a garage. I ended up making it an additional bedroom. But, it can be kind of annoying when you're basing it on houses with garages and you're not ultimately using a garage. So the front of this house is I'd say fairly traditional. It's a pretty common style of house. But I think the exterior with like the brick is a little different than houses I've done in the past, and that kind of front or not the like the window area. I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this point. I think it has some unique features. I do a couple more things to make it look, or that make it look a little different, including like how I do the back porch. I didn't really do a huge backyard for this house. This is one of the houses I spent a lot of time on. I had actually started building it before I was sick, and then I built a little of it while I was feeling under the weather. And this is basically the last house while feeling my worst. It was actually the first house I finished too, but the cube collection and the moon gazer point, or whatever I called it, were also were the two houses I finished after this. But originally Moongazer Point was supposed to come out on Friday, and this was supposed to come out on Saturday, but things happened, mainly that the video took an hour and 50 minutes to render. So by the time it was finished, it was like 1 p.m. and that was like my goal, to have it released on Friday. So I ended up just waiting till Saturday. But, so yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do this style of back porch again, with like the upper patio and then kind of a quaint lower patio. I doubt that I will try it again, because it's very annoying, I'll say that. And yeah, so it's I don't know, it was pretty fun to build. But yeah, so this past week has been very entertaining, with Thanksgiving, and if you might not have seen, but my apartment renovation build series I do on VidMe, my most recent video was retweeted by VidMe, and so it was a surprise to me, because I didn't expect it, but it was really, really nice, and I'm really thankful for VidMe. I know this video will be up on VidMe, so yeah, but this video also goes up on YouTube first. So if you're watching this on VidMe, then I definitely recommend you go check out the apartment renovation build. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I will try to remember to leave a link to that video in the description. I can't link to it in like the info card, because you need a certain amount, I think, of subscribers or something before you can do that. But yeah, so it was a really big surprise for me. I'm very shocked and honored that VidMe would recognize me, and they've recognized many other Sims creators, and yeah, it's been really nice building the apartment renovations for that channel. And I recommend, if you haven't checked out that series over on VidMe, I definitely recommend you do. One thing I wanted to mention with this house, though, is you might have noticed the front room area had like a bookshelf, a chair, and a piano. I'd kind of envisioned that as like the original dining room that whoever the family living here just decided they didn't need it, and they probably preferred to eat, on the couch watching TV. And so they converted that room into like more of a lounge room or a living room. Yeah, so there's a couple of those kind of things in this house where it's like the room sort of almost feels destined to be something else, but in this build they're different. I didn't do it too much, just because I don't want to like force like a bathroom in like a room that's just like filled with windows or something, even though I might have done that anyways. But yeah, so this video has been going on for over 10 minutes, and I have 15 minutes left of video. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is a real big test, because, I'm finally feeling better, but, like, as I'm talking through this, I'm starting to doubt my, clean bill of health. But I tried to put a kind of a cool bar up or down on that floor, and I also put a second bar in the house. Who knows? Maybe this family just really likes their alcohol. But yeah, so there's that. Oh, yeah, I should probably talk about. So for Thanksgiving, I made a couple of my family members Moscow Mules. If you don't know what that is, it is a cocktail where it's a mix of vodka, ginger beer, and lime. And so I'm 21. Well, I'm over 21. I'm 23. Yeah, I'm 23. So, I can legally, drink alcohol in my country. I know the drinking age is different in other countries. But I just want to say, if you're under your country's legal drinking age, don't drink. It's really not good for you, and there's nothing cool about it. But anyway, so I made my family cocktails, and I made myself one, and it was at like noontime. And so, like, 12:30 rolls around, and I'm just like, I am not a heavyweight in terms of alcohol. I really don't drink that much. So it kind of put me on my butt for a good amount of time. But yeah, it was a fun day, Thanksgiving. I ate a lot of food, probably too much. And I tried to sleep on the couch because I couldn't really do anything else. I also did release a video on Thanksgiving. It was a room build called Turkey Day Takeover. My thought process behind it was it's a kitchen and dining room like the day of Thanksgiving. So like chairs are pushed aside, bar stools are stacked on top of each other. It's just kind of an all-around fun themed room. I don't plan on releasing it to the gallery, but I definitely recommend you check it out if you like kind of shorter house or room builds. Even though that video is kind of long, because it took a lot of time to get the little details in. But I was really happy with how it came out. I've been really happy with how my builds have been coming out recently. I know I get too hard on myself in the past. I have. But I really do like how I've progressed as a builder, and looking at many of these houses that I've made in the past month, they were houses I couldn't even dream of making 2 months ago. And so I try to remember that, because you know, I think every builder in The Sims, their main goal is to get better, and I think sometimes you have to kind of stop and look and realize that, you know, with each build you do get better. So if you're, you know, a newer Sims builder and you're disappointed in how your houses may look in comparison to other Simmers, just keep that in mind. You know, the only way to get better is to keep building, and it's definitely something I strongly believe in. I don't think I keep this fountain. I've been really liking doing fountains, but it's really hard. They're really hard to add in sometimes. So yeah, I really do the landscaping at like weird times. I used to do it at the end of the build, and then I did it at the start, and now I do it like the start, middle, and end. I always just find something that I want to change or add. So I imagine this house has a cat, and so I put a couple of you know, cat things, and you know, I know I put 2 food bowls, but I just kind of wanted it to represent a food bowl and a water bowl or a water dish. I do find it weird that they don't have like water dishes in the game, because even though, yeah, Sims, or I guess, you know, they don't need to drink, it's just kind of like one of those staples. When I think of my former cat, you know, I don't think of his like food bowl. I think more of his water bowl, because that's what he would sit in front of and drink from all the time. Then he would eat food, obviously. But I don't know. Yeah, because I feel like you get thirsty more than you get hungry. I think, yeah, I settle with that rug. I really like this bathroom. The 2 bathrooms on the upper stairs are right next to each other. So that's this bathroom I'm doing now is the master, and then the kids' bathroom I think I do later or maybe now is the kids' bathroom. So yeah, I put another bar up here because, like I said, alcoholic Sims, and then I had to do like this really weird room kind of layout because you know, I wanted to have, you know, a door to that room, and yeah, so I had to do it like that. But I do change it a little bit. Get a fish bowl in there because cats like fish. Not really to stare at, I think they like eating fish. But this family likes to have a fish as well as a cat. Yeah, so this was definitely a struggle to do, I will say. But I love doing this series. It's so much fun. And it's definitely really one of the series I look forward to doing the most. The sad or stressful thing, though, is like, you know, I try to take a break from doing these builds because when I first started doing them, they were kind of like the only builds I ever really did. So, like, so there was like a point in time when like all my house builds were 50 states related. And while that's entertaining, it can also be, I think, straining on both me and, you know, you guys, because I have to talk about a state that most of the time I've never been to, but also because the way I build these houses differ greatly from the way I build normal houses, because most of the houses I build for this are based off of my imagination, I guess. And so because of that, you know, they look different and hopefully unique. And then houses like these are still based on my imagination, but it's my imagination mixed with 3 or 4 different houses. And yeah, so I try to not do these too much because if I do too many of these, it gets really tough to make unique builds again, because it almost feels like I have to, use reference photos as like a crutch. So yeah, I imagine this is for like an older kid, so someone about to age up into a teen, and then the second kid's room is for a older teen, either or most likely about to age up into a young adult, which I don't know if I kept what I put in there. I might have put one of the bubblers, which if I did, then that means this room, or the room with the double bed, is meant for a young adult and not a teen. But yeah, so I think I could not settle on a exterior paint for this house, but I think the dark paneling. Nope, I keep changing it. Yeah. Oh, I also want to apologize if the audio isn't completely synced up with the video. Sometimes it messes up, and like I struggle to sync it again. But I try to not take out any forms of, or any bits of audio. But sometimes I think it just has an issue, because sometimes my computer lags when it's playing back video. So sometimes I'm commenting on something that is already gone by. I put that locker in there, which is funny because I did this build earlier in the day, or earlier one day, and then I was watching a stream from Falling in Shim, and she was doing a live stream, and in the live stream build she put in the lockers and made a comment, or then like we're all making comments about like gym locker rooms in a house, and it was kind of funny because then I just kind of thought back to it, like, yeah, I put that in a house that didn't even have a locker room. That's kind of, or that didn't even have like a home gym, because like the whole thing with that house, with the house she was building, or she might still be building. I think I had to leave that stream early, so I don't know if she finished it. But it's like a huge house, and I mean this house is not huge. It's big, I guess. But like, there was no room for a home gym. This bathroom is actually really tough to do since there are two windows, because I like to add, towels or a towel rack, and there was really no space for it. So I can't remember how I do it, because this has been a while. I'm looking just as intently. I can't remember how I did it. I might have put it on the counter. Oh no, I put it right there. That kind of skipped by really fast for me. Just try to decorate the rooms, because sometimes I don't, or I forget to decorate the rooms entirely. So with this house, I tried to make sure it was all nice and cluttered, and there was enough room for activities. But yeah, I do hope to be doing some more modern houses soon, because I do really love doing modern homes, and the Cube collection was probably one of my favorite house builds that I've done in a while, even though I really like the last two that I've done or released, and I'm working on another one that I'm really enjoying. So yeah, there's a lot of videos to look forward to in the next week or so. Not sure yet what the posting schedule will be like, but I'm no longer gonna kind of rush videos out just so I can release one a day. I think it's kind of silly to do that, because I think quality should always be more important than quantity. So I'm going to keep trying to focus on maintaining quality of these builds. I can't remember if I keep the fireplace in that room, because I was going to put it originally in the first floor, but that was the kitchen, so it just doesn't make sense. Oh man, this is a long build, but it is coming to an end. So I just want to say thank you for watching. If this is your first time on the channel, then please remember to subscribe for future uploads. If you like Sims house builds, speed builds, room builds, basically anything Sims 4 related, then yeah, definitely consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it, and it would be a major help to me if you could share this video on Twitter or Facebook or basically anywhere. Yeah, it would be really nice. And yeah, so ignore this part. If you like the end screen and you want to see the next video, then definitely click that. But this is basically all I have to say for this video. So yeah, bye.